Hello and welcome back to the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship. This is going to be a really interesting second race because, as you can see, between the first and second races, the sunshine has disappeared. It's an early start for the second day of action and the fog has come out, so it's going to be an interesting one. From the front, no major surprises. It's going to be Oliver Allwood versus Will Blackwell-Chambers, as we said before. But in this midfield battle, there's sure to be some absolutely spectacular battles. Steve Foden, just going past me, is going to be one to watch, as is the couple of drivers coming up towards me. We've got the 54 here of Marcus Bailey. He's always going to be one who's up for a scrap. Who else do we have? The 81 coming in here, Sebastian Fischer. He's been particularly strong over the course of the season. I want to have a bit of a word, however, with this chap coming towards us, Teddy Clark. He's been really strong in the midst of the battles. Let's see what his game plan is coming into this one. Teddy, Interesting start to the weekend. Yesterday, not quite what you were after, but hopefully today should be better.
Absolutely, we've gone back to the setup from qualifying. My plan is to get in the top 7 where I should have started the weekend, and then I should have gone forward. So a top 7 in this one, and then hopefully look to get on the podium for the final one.
There's going to be some really interesting drivers to go for. The battle's going to be tight, but here is where you can make the difference.
Absolutely, I just need to make sure I don't miss second to third off the line, and fingers crossed, before the end of the first lap, I should have made 2 or 3 places up, and then we go from there.
Fantastic. Good luck, Teddy. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
So this one is sure to be an action-packed one, all the way back to the tail end of the grid. 24 cars once again, and don't forget, the bottom 5 get demoted to the B group. The top 5 from the B group go up to the A for the third race. I can't wait for this one. Well, that was a few short minutes ago. They've just come back from their formation lap, and it's very foggy this time. Allwood and Blackwell-Chambers on the front row of the grid, Trott and Comber, Simmons and Tolley, Burge and Greydrex, and Stephen Foden and Marcus Bailey rounding out the top 10. Fisher and Teddy Clark are alongside each other on the 6th row, Craig and Langridge, Simon Orange and Jack Worry, Courtney Milnes and Paul Bateman, Paul Tucker, and then come the 5 from the B group, the top 5 in that race. Sam Gendy, Adrian Burge, Harry Dean, Nick Nadoyan, and there's an Oliver at the front and at the back, Oliver Robinson. The big news, though, is that Bessel was excluded from that first race. He now finds himself in the B group, so watch him charging through in the third race. Now, let's see how things go for this second race. It's colder and a little bit more moist than yesterday. Let's race again at Snetterton. Cracking start from Allwood. Good start too from Blackwell-Chambers alongside him on the front row. And it's a clean getaway all through the field. No major catastrophes. Blackwell-Chambers trying to sprint out around the far side. We're on board with Martin Tolley. That is Greydrex going one way. Simmons going the other. Contact! Simmons taps Tolley. And is a spin further back. That looks like John Langridge going off. I think John Langridge went off there at Ritchie's, so that's a real shame for Langridge. But here is Allwood defending from the inside line. Blackwell-Chambers is going far side into Wilson. And still, the battle continues here in the Mazda MX-5 Championship. That is Jack Worry having a bit of a battle there with the fast-starting Sam Gendy. Blackwell-Chambers into second position, hanging on there from Brian Trott. As the racing continues, out through Palmer, up towards Agostini. Battle is joined here at Snetterton, but Allwood still leads the way from Blackwell-Chambers. He is not going to lose another victory if he can help it. Now, Burge is there on the inside defending from Teddy Clark. That is the 94 of Charlie Burge, but Adrian Burge is in this race as well. There is the 19 coming through. That's Oliver Robinson making a fast start and taking Adrian Burge. We're on board now with Jason Greydrex, the 33, as they make their way down towards Oggies. Into the right-hander, first of 2. Watch his work on the wheel. You've got to be smooth in these first couple of laps. And he is absolutely planted at the moment. Good work this from Greydrex, right there in the top 5. So the 33, the red line car, definitely has a chance to run with the front of the pack today. And he's got a bit of space behind him. Here comes Trott. Trott is making his move on the inside of Comber. Now, can he make his way through there? That looks like it's done and dusted, as Trott is going to try and get himself back into third position. He's got that move done from the look of it. Unless, of course, Comber can get back on the inside of Nelson. He can't at this point. Greydrex is there in 5th place. Tolley running very deep into Nelson. Of course, the track is slipperier on this first lap than it was yesterday, so expect a couple of drivers just to misjudge it a little bit. We'll see a little bit more spicy action from this race than perhaps we would have done yesterday in the early stages. Allwood, Blackwell-Chambers, Trott, Comber, and in 5th place, Jason Greydrex. A great start from the 4th row of the grid for him. Allwood running well off of Murray's as they come up centre straight once again. And Trott has got Blackwell-Chambers lined up. It's the end of the first lap, and already the battle is going for it. Here comes Trott alongside Blackwell-Chambers at the line. 5th position, Greydrex, and then we've got Tolley battling away there with Stuart Simmons
Again, not the greatest of starts from Simmons. That's the second race in a row where he's gone backwards. He had a similar sort of issue at Brands Hatch as well. He got very poorly off the line in the first race, but what Simmons is good at, he's fighting back, and we've got Tolly squeezed. Tolly's got 2 wheels on the road, 2 wheels on the grass as they head for the braking zone. And that is the 94 trying to take advantage. Charlie Burge trying to get there. Whoop, there's Teddy Clark. So we've made the space on Clark, but Clark is keeping his nose in. Keep going, Teddy. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And they are so close to contact. Through Palmer, Teddy Clark's got it done, though. Brilliant overtake there from Teddy Clark to get him back. Oh, and the gap is still open. Here comes Charlie Burge. Still side by side. Practically flirting wing mirrors there as they come down towards the Agostini. But the leaders are through, and Greatrex has broken clear of the rest of the pack. Simmons there in 6th. 7th is Clark. Burge is trying to be 8th. Tolly is resisting as much as he can, but surely Burge in the inside of Hamilton is going to get that done. Tolly's going to drift wide, but he's still got a chance up the inside of Oggies to get him back. He eventually bails out of it. Very nice work there from Charlie Burge to get into that 8th position slot. Tolly is 9th, Foden is 10th. Racing is definitely on here. On board with Jason Greatrex as he now charges after Mike Comber. This is for 4th position. The Redline Motorsport car, number 33. Getting down to the braking zone for Brundle. Just watch how fast the car is by comparison. Cutting through the air, so much neater. The Greatrex has got plenty of time. That's Trott in 2nd. Trott is through in a 2nd. Now, I'm not sure where he got that done, but Trott is through in a P2. Blackwell Chambers in 3rd position. 4th is still Comber, and 5th is still Greatrex. And these 5 have definitely broken clear from the rest of the field now. But Allwood is in the lead, Trott in 2nd. So it's as they qualified yesterday in the top 3. Certainly not how they finished thus far. Trott was 3rd in yesterday's first race in front of the rest of the field. But now Jason Greatrex and Mike Comber have come to play. They got up early. They've obviously had their Weetabix, and now they are charging after the leading 3. Down the straight once again. But there's only 3 drivers from this 5 who can get busy with the fizzy later. Let's see who's going to be the 3 to get there. Anyway, 6th position, Simmons still has Clark in the battle in there, and it looks like Charlie Burge has dropped Tolly and Foden and is now trying to make a move on the inside of Clark. Clark is making the same move on Simmons into Riches, so Clark has to bail out of that one. We're on board with Simmons, and Clark is getting a little bit irate with Charlie Burge. I wonder if he felt that there was a little bit of shoving there. Oh, and Simmons runs wide into Wilson. This is an opportunity for Clark if he can get a good exit, but it's also an opportunity for Charlie Burge. Teddy Clark absolutely irate, looking as much in the rearview mirror as he is at the windscreen in front of him. Through Palmer, sorry. Twitchy on the steering wheel. Teddy Clark nicely planted, but he knows that Charlie Burge might just pop up the inside of Agostini. He's going to need to be the last of the late breakers to stop that from happening. Here comes Burge, though, on the inside, and Clark will have to let him go. Tolly is going to try and get through on the inside as well, but Clark has shut the door nice and early. On board with Charlie Burge, looking back to Teddy Clark. That's his assailant as they go through Hamilton. No curb at all from Clark, a whisper of it from Tolly. Interesting to see the different approaches in these greasy conditions as Clark gets very close to Burge under braking. No contact, still good battling between them, and Clark absolutely marrying that outside white line in terms of his flirtatious moves to it. But still Tolly and Foden, just as they were in race 1, still battling it on. Now, is Foden going to get a good enough run down the Bentley straight to make a move on the inside of Tolly this time? Look, everywhere that the man in 6th position goes, the field goes with him. Now, you could technically say, well, he's moved twice down the straight. Yes, but he's the leader of the pack, and that's a slipstreaming effect, basically. He's trying to break the toe. It hasn't worked. Tolly's gone sideways. Manages to get the car back on the circuit, but Foden has taken the bait and is through at the bomb hole. Now, can Tolly get him back on the switchback? Foden's trying to cut straight back across, but look how much time they've lost to Teddy Clark in the process. That's a good 1.5 seconds or so they've lost to him. And that just shows you what a battle does. Now, Burge is getting close to Simmons again in the braking zone. Good work this from Charlie Burge to cement himself firmly in the top 10 once again. A fight back to be very proud of indeed, though, for Teddy Clark. Started, don't forget, P12 and is now fighting for 6th position. But still, these 5 absolutely nailed together. There's an invisible chain pulling them all round in unison. Allwood leading, Trott 2nd, Blackwell Chambers 3rd, Comber 4th, and in 5th it's Jason Greatrex. So tight together in Wilson. Greatrix has got a little bit of breathing space, but he might be quite glad of that by the time these four really start to bump and bore. Martin Tolley down into the braking zone for Wilson. Foden drifts out a little bit wide. He's not going to be able to get the way through just from that, but he is going to line him up nicely. I wonder if he just missed his gear change a little bit there, and that has given a little bit more of a charge forward for the man in front. Trott covering Blackwell Chambers very well indeed into Agostini. He's being very technical about how he goes about lining up the car. Greatrix just about the save of the season in this current position. We go further back down the order and we're on board with the 69. This is Sam Gendy, B Group winner from the first race, promoted into the A Group, and now trying to charge his way forward at Agostini. So they're a few seconds back from the leading bunch, of course. With Sam Gendy just keeping an eye on things as he battles away for position, trying to move up the order. Careful, Sam. A big squeal of the tyres. But great to see that there's race battles, not just at the front, not just in the middle, but there's also towards the tail end, Charlie. Great battles all around, and Sam Gendy is having a great play. You really do get your value for money in the Mazda MX-5 Championship. These Mark 1s are great racing cars. They have really endured these machines over the last 3 decades, and they still give absolutely sensational racing. Brian Trott still on the back of Oliver Allwood. Team Trott will be bouncing up and down with excitement in the pits, but Blackwell Chambers is not done yet. He's there in 3rd position. He's a wily fox. He knows how to get past these two, but he's got to time it absolutely to perfection. Out of the final turn, Brian Trott does his Colin McRae impression as he gets back on the power. Goodness me, that is another great save, this time from Brian Trott. We've got black and white flags. I wonder what that's for. Probably track limits, I would say, but Trott is now going for the lead. I'm not sure who the black and white flag is being given to. I should just point that out. I don't know who's got that, but Trott has got a great run and is diving round the outside. Blackwell Chambers is in that mix as well. Here's the 88 of Simmons running there in front of Burge, Clark, Foden, and now Tolley's under pressure from Sebastian Fisher. Fisher's going to go round the outside at Riches. Terrific bit of driving. And I think that's Adam Craig in there as well, the 29, as he battles away for position. Simmons goes wide at Wilson. That's enough for Charlie Burge and Teddy Clark to get an open invitation. Clark is going to try and get there. He knows where Simmons is. He's been following Charlie Burge. Is Simmons going to squeeze into the braking zone for Palmer? Well, he drifts back at the apex, but Clark is going to tuck straight back in and have another opportunity into Agostini, no doubt. A bit of break of sunlight through the fog. We had a delayed start to the action this morning, and it's only just now that the sun is starting to poke through and give us a little bit of sunlight. But this is a great bit of a battle. A battle for 1st, a battle for 6th, and a battle for 10th. Absolutely terrific racing. Well, that's the Mazda MX-5 Championship. What more do you want? Cheap, cheerful, exciting, great banter on and off the circuit, as you can see. So Allwood, Blackwell Chambers, Trott down to 4th position. I didn't see where he lost ground, but I'm guessing it's in that little manoeuvre at the first corner. He must have drifted to the back of the queue, but he's coming straight back. He's not going to do this by halves, is he? Coomber up to 3rd position as a result of that, but for how much longer? I'll tell you, a couple of seconds, because Trott is through into 3rd position. So Trott gets himself back into P3. Can he get one over on Will Blackwell Chambers again? This is all going to be about how he responds to having dropped a couple of places. He hasn't let Greatrix get near him, so that has given him the gusto to go for Coomber. And now he's got these two once again. Allwood versus Blackwell Chambers. Never mind Vettel versus Hamilton. This is going to give you much better racing. And up into that final turn. Allwood again moves to cover Blackwell Chambers. They have got plenty of curb between them, but they're both holding each other up and compromising each other a little bit. Watch Brian Trott. He's got a great exit out of Murray's. He could get past them both here. If he lines it up nicely enough, he's the man on the move. Greatrix is staying with them all in 5th position. Coomber's watching and keeping a brief, but Blackwell Chambers is having to try and position himself very defensively while being offensive towards Allwood. But Trott has got them lined up. He's making them second guess. Blackwell Chambers has got to keep one eye on the road ahead and one on the mirror behind. Coomber is sensing a little bit of irritation between these three. There might be a chance for him to come through. Still great battles everywhere you look. Charging towards us, that is the 15. That is Harry Dean as he battles away, trying to get away from Paul Tucker. And up the inside, that is the 60 of Nick Ledoyen, who's come through from the B group. Courtney Milnes has had a clean pair of heels shown. But great battles everywhere you look. Still great jostling. I think that was Gendy having a bit of a battle there. Great racing. It's always like this in the Mazda MX-5 Championship. Oh no, there is the battle between Jack Worry and the 42 of Paul Bateman. A little further up the road as Bateman puts a nice move there into Palmer on the 6 of Jack Worry. But Worry comes straight back at him and he's going to squeeze him into the braking zone for Agostini. No problem at all. Next is Harry Dean. Then it is the 22 of Paul Tucker. And then Nick Ledoyen trying to fend off Courtney Milnes. So Courtney Milnes again getting a good opportunity to charge after Nick Ledoyen. Ledoyen using plenty of curb as he gets wide. So Nick Ledoyen trying to get the car recovered. And as we go back towards the front, it's side by side again. Blackwell Chambers has been lining up Allwood. Well, Brian Trott's now trying to move to cover. Round the outside, is that going to get him into second position? Watch yourself, Will. Yes, it is. Brian Trott is through in a second place now. Superb bit of racing there. And all of that little bit of a hiccup, that little bit of an error from Brian Trott that dropped him 2 places, well, it's back to where it was. He's got it all back again with Blackwell Chambers behind him. And now look, Jason Greatrex has caught up to Comber as the momentum has pushed towards Trott. It's backed the 3 of these guys up into the 4th and 5th place men. Comber and Greatrex still perfectly balanced at Murray's as they come off the turn and back on the power down the centre straight. Now, my money this time is on Blackwell Chambers. He's a little way behind Brian Trott, but he should get a decent move on these 2 up towards Wilson. Watch Trott though, he's looking quite hungry. 5 cars within a second of each other as they come across the line. Trott decides to blink out to the left side of the circuit. Allwood moves to cover as they go into the right-hander at Riches. Great work this from Trott. Blackwell Chambers still there in 3rd position. Allwood pushing hard. He kicks up the dust. Trott is going to try and take the bait. Allwood moves across just in time to cover him off into Wilson. Blackwell Chambers gets the hint as well that Allwood is looking a little bit leery. That backs him into Trott. And Trott is a little bit defensive as a result. So Blackwell Chambers might get the chance. Comber's getting fired up. And Greatrex is right in the mix. 5 guys battling for the victory here at Snetterton. Allwood leading, Trott 2nd, Blackwell Chambers 3rd, Comber 4th, and Greatrex 5th. Trott moves across to the inside line at Agostini, trying to keep Blackwell Chambers at bay while also letting Allwood know that he's not going to take this line down. Out of Agostini, back on the power. Allwood has a little bit of breathing space, but not by much. Again, good defensive driving from Trott to keep Blackwell Chambers from coming through at Hamilton. We go further back to that 6th position battle briefly because this battle is still the good one. I'm not saying the other one isn't good, but this is absolutely superb. And this is for the victory, of course. Brian Trott still trying to keep close to Allwood. Was that a gesture from Trott? Back to the guys behind. Come on, let's go get Allwood. That was a bit like karting just then. Mind you, they do say these cars are like dirty great go-karts. My only experience of Mazda MX-5s is on iRacing, and it is great fun to drive these cars around. I did do a few laps of Snetterton just to get the feel of what these guys are doing. Up on the inside, that was a bit of a look there from Greatrex onto Comber. Didn't quite get the move done, though. So let's see if Blackwell Chambers can get one on Brian Trott this time. Allwood, though, throughout all of this, has somehow held the lead, but this looks as though it's been even tougher than yesterday's race was, and that was pretty nail-biting stuff. He was dancing on the knife edge then, and now he's got to try and hang on to this for at least another lap of what is one of the toughest circuits in Britain to go Mazda MX-5 racing, because every time you think you've got a decent advantage, you look behind you, 2 corners after you felt you had 3 or 4 car lengths of gap, and it's all suddenly dissipated. Last lap, here we go. Allwood is going to try and make it 2 out of 2. He's got to work so hard to keep Blackwell Chambers and Brian Trott behind him. Trott in 2nd, Blackwell Chambers 3rd. Comber and Greatrex are ready to pounce if they need to, and if they get an opportunity. Down towards Wilson Hairpin, formerly Montreal Hairpin, of course, renamed after the late great Justin Wilson. And now, there is Comber in 4th position, chasing down Will Blackwell Chambers, the championship leader coming into this weekend. But if Brian Trott takes the 2nd place off him and Allwood makes it 3 out of 3, that definitely gives the championship fight a little bit more added vigour. and he will definitely want to push to get as many points from this weekend as possible. Damage limitation needs to be the buzzword here as Blackwell Chambers tries again, but he could still snatch the victory of Allwood from this position, don't forget. They go through Agostini, and he's got the long Bentley straight, the run out of Murray's down the centre straight, and all those fiddly corners in between. He could still pop up and get both of these guys. Brian Trott still hanging on to that second position for the moment. Allwood comfortable in the lead for how much longer, though? That is the debate. Allwood still leads. Trott second. Blackwell Chambers is right there in third position. Now, if he gets a good sprint out of Williams, this is where he's going to get his best chance. Through Williams. Coomber and Greatrex are close, but not close enough, really, to get the podium on merit. They're going to have to see if something happens. Trott has got Allwood lined up. Never mind Blackwell Chambers. Trott wants the win. And Allwood's going to have to be very careful how he defends, because if he runs out of road, the Blackwell Chambers could get them. Trott is going to try the long way round. Allwood's going to defend. Trott tucks back in. He'll get one more chance, and that's out of Murray's. Are we going to get another side-by-side finish? We already had one in race 1. Can we get another in race 2? The chirp of the tyres suggests it's going to get interesting, but Trott's now a little bit loose through the bomb hole. Blackwell Chambers is tightening up. Coomber is as well. Greatrex is still in there in 5th position. This could still go anybody's way. Trott's got to keep it together. Nail the braking zone, Brian. Blackwell Chambers might sprint and beat him out of there, but here comes Coomber. Coomber's going to get them both. Coomber's going to get them both. They're going to run side by side, and Greatrex is going to pop in for the podium finish as well. It's Allwood who takes the flag. Coomber's going to be second. Greatrex is third. Trott and Blackwell Chambers are out sprinted to the line. That was absolutely incredible from Mike Coomber and Jason Greatrex. Never ever count them out. Oliver Allwood gets the win. Coomber in second, Greatrex in third. That was nail-biting stuff to the line. And look at that. Between second to 5th, there was only 4/10 of a second. Trott is 4th from Blackwell Chambers. Burge, Foden, Simmons, Clark and Fisher round out the top 10. Fastest lap of the race, Mike Coomber. Craig is 11th from Tolley. Worry, Dean, Orange, Bateman, Bailey, Milnes and Ladoyan. And then the 5 that go down to the B group are Paul Tucker, Oliver Robinson, Adrian Burge, Sam Gendy, and sadly John Langridge after that spin at Riches. But all 24 who started finished.
Well, Oliver, second race of the weekend. Not only is this becoming a habit, but with Will Blackwell Chambers off the podium, that's just about the best result ever.
Yeah, that's a rare occasion, to be honest. Will's never off the podium. I think Brian missed a gear on the last corner and it all went a little bit wild. So I sort of caught a break there, really. So, yeah, good for the championship, but tough race. We've got a little bit of extra pace over everyone, but it's not enough to break the toe. And it's really competitive. There's 5 guys there who are all capable of winning it. So one more race to go. We'll give it another shot. Hopefully we can make the hat-trick.
I was just going to say, Will got the hat-trick at Brands. Can you do it here, or is it going to be a bit harder than just saying it?
Yeah, it's harder than saying it. I mean, we're on pole, so we're in the right place. We've won 2, so we're already doing better than everyone else. But like I say, it's super close. Maybe I'll get a lucky break and, yeah, we can do it. But it's been a good weekend so far, so can't complain.
Fantastic. Well, keep the ball rolling, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Well, Mike, that was a fantastic race and one of the best steals since Ocean 11. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a race of just waiting for that to happen, really. And sometimes they don't sort of work in your favour, but in this case it did. And when it was there, I was sort of just ready to pounce at the opportunity. And yeah, with a bit of a push from Jason, we managed to sort of come off best for both of us, really. So yeah, really happy. It's been a tough Brands hatch for the start of the season, a head change on the engine for this race, and a lot of support from the team has got me on the podium. So
what that means now, of course, is that you get to start the final race of the weekend from the front row of the grid. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. I think Anglesey last year, so and that was my first race back in the Mark 1 after the Mark 3. So yeah, it'll be a bit weird to have no one in front of me and leading the way, but it's Ollie's driving fantastic this weekend. It's going to be a real challenge to sort of to go one better. But we'll give it our best, and if the opportunity like in that race comes along, then I'll take it, and we'll see where it gets us at the end of the race.
Fantastic job. Hopefully there's more to come. Good luck.
Yeah, cheers, Jake.
Well, Jason, what a great start to the season. Second weekend of the championship and a podium in race 2. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. We had a good start in the race. We had loads of hassle at Brands. We set up on the car. We were just real slow. We had 3/12, which is as good as we could get. But at this meeting, we finally got a setup that seems like it's working. So we're going to stick with that for now and see how we get on.
Good start to the season. You want to take one more silverware at least back to Cardiff?
At least another podium, and we've got to go for the win, haven't we?
Fantastic. Good luck in it.
Cheers, thank you very much.